Hello, hello. Welcome to Talk Football Live. Welcome, viewers. Welcome back again. This is the Champions League week. And welcome, Biodun. And welcome, Lobzy. Ayo is out today, doing some personal things. So we're going to be recording without him today. How you guys doing?
Fantastic. It's great to have our Lobzy back. It's been a while that we had you here. Well,
all right. So welcome, Lobzy. Hope we won't have to debate today. But hopefully we won't, because today we're talking strictly about Champions League. Champions League and the new formats. Lobzy.
Champions.
Say that again.
Liverpool is in the Champions League.
Liverpool is in the Champions League. Arsenal is in the Champions League.
That's why you have to listen to us.
Yeah.
Talk.
The good thing is Chelsea.
Oh, okay. Arsenal is in the Champions League.
You're
wow,
surprised.
That's surprising.
I'm surprised too.
Were they in the Champions League last year?
Yes, they were.
Oh, I remember. Oh,
leave Arsenal alone.
You know why I couldn't remember? Because Liverpool wasn't playing in the Champions League.
Exactly.
No. We only remember people who got to the final stage. So I couldn't remember if they were there.
What happened to you last season?
Semis or no quarterfinals? Yeah, we were in the finals.
You didn't make Champions League. You were in the.
We were in the Europa.
When the Europa,
Europa League
by Atalanta. You remember?
It happens. You know the funny part is the fact that the usual winners, people look out for the usual winners. They tend to embrace them and say, "Oh wow, look at this great team." They make the whole game exciting. But when losers don't make it, we don't really feel the difference.
Okay. On that note, I forgot to mention, our subscribers, viewers, we love you, we appreciate you. Thank you for always liking and subscribing. For those who have subscribed, for those who haven't, we hope you subscribe and you hope you turn on notifications so you can get a notification when we post a video. All right, so let's not go back and talk about what happened last season. We're moving forward. We're talking about this season's Champions League. First of all, we'd like to talk about the new format of the Champions League. Biodun, do you mind giving us a breakdown of what this new format is like?
Oh man, the crazy format, right? Well, I'm sure by now most of our viewers and almost the majority probably knows how this thing runs, right? So this is a league format, right? Compared to the previous group stages whereby you play and you have the first two qualifying and you have the best placed third team. Now they move into a format of I believe 36 teams, and each team will play 8 games. That 8 games is then divided into two categories, right? Out of the 8 games that each team plays, you play 4 home games and you play 4 away games. Now, what is the difference that people need to know? The fact that you might be playing Borussia Dortmund at home doesn't mean you're going to play Borussia Dortmund
away,
right? So it's 8 different teams. So you're going to get 8. Each team will get 8 different teams, and out of the 8 different teams, you play 4 home games. You play 4 away games.
Yeah.
So it's your luck if you play Real Madrid in your own house, and it's your luck if you play, PSG, right, in your own home. So it's up. It depends on how you get picked. But let's get that one out of the way. So when you do all that, it means all the teams will do that. Then we'll rank up just like we watch and we track the league, right? So you win a game 3 points, you draw a game 1 point, you lose a game 0 points. Then the goal difference counts. So for example, we're going to talk about the Bayern Munich game. They scored a lot of goals. That's a very high goal difference right now, and Bayern Munich is actually top in the league because of most people have 3 points from games that they've won, but the goal difference matters. That's why we see people trying to score more because it's going to help at the end of the day. Now the top 8 teams, meaning number 1 to 8, right? The top 8 teams automatically qualify for the round of 16.
Okay.
And when I say they qualify for the round of 16, that's 8 teams. So definitely they need another 8 teams to play with the knockout stage. Now, number 9 to 24, that is that's 16 teams, right? So those 16 teams will face off. I don't know. I think they're probably going to do another, pick, another pot, whatever for that. So 9 to 24 will then face off. meaning out of that 16 teams, 8 will come out of that, right?
Yeah.
That 8 will then play the top 1
Okay.
to 8 in the league, 1-on-1. That's how they play the round of 16, and the round of 16 to quarterfinals, quarterfinals to semifinals, semifinals to final. Now,
Finals.
the question is what happens to number 25 to 36? They're done. They're not even going to go into the Europa League. They are done. Yeah, they are out completely. So the same thing happens in the Europa League,
Uh-huh.
whereby those, I believe those one will probably go into the Conference League. So that's the way it's going to be this year. So it means you have to try to make the top 8. Um, and I know we're going to talk about the games. Man City just drew their game against Inter Milan.
Uh-huh.
What does that mean for them? I believe strongly that they were still going to qualify, but the problem is if they come number 4, number 5, somebody will probably meet them. So, number 8, who you think that you probably will avoid Man City, you might still get Man City. You know
Yes.
what I mean? So,
Yes.
but anyway, we can get back to it. But I hope that is clear, right? The
Yeah,
first
that
8
makes sense.
qualifies for
So
round of 16. Yeah.
so I know a lot of debate has been going on about this being a little more complicated because they're playing 8 games as opposed to 6 if it was group stages. And
That's correct.
it's just 2 extra games, but still. Lobzy, just to get your own opinion in regards to this new format, do you think this gives an advantage to the big teams, the big teams with deeper squads, or do you think it gives an advantage to the small teams who get to play the big boys early and quote unquote advertise themselves? What do you think?
I would think that the most disadvantaged teams that will go into this competition will be the English teams. Why? Um, the reason why is that majority of English teams have a lot of games.
Okay.
So tiredness will set in, knowing fully well that we all every time we play the game, we are not just seeking a draw. Like in the past, most people seek a draw just to make sure they are there. But this time around, you have to play at your best. Make sure you are scoring a lot of goals until maybe to a point where you know you are safe, right?
Yeah.
And also, there's no one game at home, then one game away. No, this time around is one game done with the opponent. You're done. You go to another opponent. You don't get the chance of oh, you won you at home, then you play away.
Moving
No, no,
to
it
away, yeah.
doesn't. If you're unlucky to play a strong team at home, you're just unlucky. It's one trick shot. You don't get another chance. So the most disadvantaged team going into this competition will first be heavily burdened leagues, then followed by other teams that don't have deeper squad, which we know that some really don't have enough squad. They only are ready for one competition and they're done. They can't play as many competitions as others. Some other trick that I feel that could also benefit some teams is this: if you don't, if you know that there are certain games that you will definitely win, or you look at the whole table and say, okay, if I win 6 out of these 7, I don't need to struggle for the rest. I potentially don't have to meet a big team. Then make sure that I'm not at the top, but I'm not at the bottom,
Okay.
so that I strategically play a smaller team
Uh-huh.
over time. Some could play that way, where they don't want to strive to get as much points. In situations that, in the recent situation that happened where Bayern Munich played a less experienced team,
Uh-huh.
they in the first, I think in the first half, it felt like it was a normal game, 2-3, that was fine. And before you knew it, second half came and they were done. 9 goals does not mean Bayern Munich will meet another team and score 6 or 7. It doesn't
Of course.
always happen that way.
Yeah.
They were just lucky to have
That
been
opponent.
able to score that with that kind of opponent at home also. So it helps again that they were at home and also they had a good team. So the fans was with them. The squad was right. It was their first game. It's fine. If they play an English team, they probably might not score as much as that. They probably draw or get a 1-0 or 2-0, and that's it. And they could have scored almost. And we always know sometimes some teams will score all their goals at in one game, and the next game they're done. Just like Liverpool last season. They played a game before Atlanta, scored as much goals as they could score. We thought, oh, next 2 games will be a breeze. They met Atlanta, they're done. The goals that we expect were not as much. So only teams who, first of all, have deep squad and teams who don't have enough competition during this period that most likely will succeed better.
Okay, let me ask you a question real quick, because you hinted at something talking about targeting, focusing on playing a certain number of games or certain opponents well, so you can relax against another set of opponents. As of right now, we know Arsenal is facing Atalanta. That's coming up. We know Bayern faced I don't know who Bayern faced now, but regardless,
they played Dynamo
Kiev.
At the moment of playing, basically my question is this: do these teams know the next opponents they are facing? Or
yes,
they do.
And that's what I was just going to try to give you real quick.
Okay, so good. That's question.
Bayern already played Dynamo Zagreb, right? Which they beat 9-2. Their next games are Aston Villa, but they're going to be away, so they come into Aston Villa to play, right? After that, they're also going away to Barcelona, right? So I think it made a very good sense that they had a 9-2 win because it helped them.
Exactly.
Now, think about it. They're going to play Aston Villa. I mean, I don't know how the game will go. They might win, they might lose. I don't know. But obviously, it's not going to be a 9-2. Then they're going to play Barcelona. Barcelona is doing very well right now. They're doing very well. As a matter of fact, I tipped them to win the La Liga. So they have that, which is a way for Bayern as well. Then their next home game is against Benfica. So they have Benfica, which that might be a sure win, hopefully. Then they have PSG. Actually, they have very tough fixtures. So they have PSG, but PSG is going to Germany. So PSG is going to Munich. Then now they go away to Shakhtar Donetsk. I think it's good for them. Then they play Feyenoord. Then their last game is Slovan Bratislava. That is the game that Celtic beat today. I believe 5-2 or 5-1, right? So Celtic already beat that team. Celtic is not going to play them second leg. To your point, Lobzy, did Man City lose their chance? Was that a missed opportunity today? I don't know, because they're never going to play Inter Milan again.
Yes. Inter Milan have taken it's still a missed chance, because I would tell you, even though it's a draw, they should have won. It defines a team who's going to win over time.
Same thing. Inter have chances also.
Yeah, I know, but Man City played at home.
Does that matter? I mean, based on
it does. It would a show of strength. A show of strength is when you win at home with your crowd. What you trying to go win away becomes more difficult, because you might think other teams are not looking at the game. Other teams look at it and look at the way you played Inter at home and say, "Oh, if we adopt something similar to this, maybe we can break them and do the same." It's just one time you're playing them. You don't play them twice. You only play them one time. And that's what Inter did. They say, "Oh, it's just one of our chance. We don't have to meet them back in our home." There's no opportunity for revenge. Revenge usually comes with, "Oh, they won us at home. We go back, we win them in their. This time around, it's a different ball game." You get one chance to beat a team. If you don't get to beat them, that's it. You're done. You go meet the next opponent. So where you are supposed to win your game is at home. Where you are open to go win your game away, those teams too want to win their game at home.
Okay. So I think I agree with you, but I also think a show of strength is winning the game, regardless of his own home.
Regardless of the location, regardless of whether
regardless of location. Especially based on
like Liverpool won. You guys won yesterday away.
Yeah.
You've taken that 3 points away from AC Milan. That was good. That's it. That you're never going to play AC Milan again unless you get to knockout stage. Another thing I wanted to add to that is, I think all the teams should do their best to make the top 8, which is the toughest thing. You know why? Because you don't play that extra game that number 9 to 24 would have to play. If you make top 8, you're done. You're good.
You go to where? Round of 16?
You go to round of 16 straight away.
Automatically.
Number 9 to 24 have to play one more game to make it to round of 16.
Yeah.
So that way, because of the tight schedule fixtures, I mean, you already heard Rodri saying some players are going to go on strike. It's a lot of fixtures. The best manager.
Which Rodri? The one for Man City?
Yes.
Yeah. I mean,
he really must be joking with all the 115 charges they have.
No. But what he's saying is valid, right? It's a lot of games. It's a lot of matches.
It is.
Champions League. Nations League is
a lot of games. It's a lot of game for an unexperienced team. If you win your first game and you win it fine, you don't have to complain about it. It just gives
said done, but Lobzy, note this.
Lobzy,
it's still
like you
two
said,
more
they're
games.
playing EPL, they're playing FA Cup, they're playing Carabao, right?
Yeah.
They're playing Champions League, right? They're gonna play. They're gonna play. They already played Super World Cup, right? Whatever it is, Super Cup, right? So they played Community Shield because they won the league. You understand?
Okay.
If the question,
okay, remember that only applies to what English teams. It does not apply to the rest.
Well, other leagues,
that's the same thing. Rodri plays in England. Rodri plays in England. That's what.
I understand his point. Now I said Rodri plays in England. It applies to only English teams. Every other company, the French league, they don't play that much. The Italian league, they don't play as many as we do.
The schedule are just drawn differently. Remember that every other league they play 3 cups each season.
Just like
how many does the English league? 5?
No, I think it's 3 mainly. It's Carabao.
We pay 5. We play 5.
Hold on, guys. As far as I know, there are 4 major competitions in all leagues, all top leagues. For English, it's FA Cup, Carabao, the league itself, and then Champions League.
Okay.
If you are in Europe, not all the clubs are in
Europe. Exactly.
Crystal Palace has no business playing midweek European competition.
No, so we are still talking. It still boils down back to.
Hold on. So let's talk about in Spain. They play the La Liga. They play. Help me with the other.
Copa del Rey. There's
one more.
Champions League.
No, there's one more League Cup. So I think everybody plays 4.
No, I don't think so.
If it's 4, if you are in Europe, that's the point I'm trying.
Yeah. But we're talking about people in Europe now. So focus on they are in Europe. They are playing their league.
But then there's one last one, which is the Community Shield that we play afterwards.
That's just one game. That's
it's still a competition.
Not for everybody.
Okay, so here's what I want to get at. Realistically, as Biodun pointed out, there are 8 games. You must play 8 games.
Mm-hmm.
If you mess up, you are not in the top 8, you will play 9 games. Playing 8 games already gives you 2 extra games to play. And these are 8 competitive games. You don't have the chance to be relaxing and playing for a draw, like you said earlier, Lobzy. You have to play at your best and get the result, get the 3 points. So there are 8 competitive games, and if you don't get to top 8, you play 9. That's 3 extra games compared to the 6 they used to play on the group stages.
Okay.
So it's really. So my question is, for someone to Rodri complained. I think what's his name? This PSG player also complained and said, yes, every year they are complaining and they are increasing number of games. Players are complaining they are getting fatigued, but the league is increasing number of games. They're not listening to the players. We may consider the strike, like Rodri said. My question to you guys is this valid? Now, please don't use statements.
They've always complained. They will complain about that. None of them ever complains that their salary goes up.
Oh, like I just said, let's not talk about how much they're getting paid. We know they are paid millions. Let's talk about the fact that
they are getting paid much more than they would have been paid 20 years ago, 10 years ago, 5 years ago.
Lobzy, you're missing the point. The inflation is there. Most people are getting paid.
No. Even if you factor in,
I think there are 2. I think the topic can be said in 2 ways, right? There's a financial aspect of it, right, which I think Lobzy is bringing up, which is okay. Are the games justified, right, in terms of finance, right, in terms of the financial benefits, implications of it? Yes, but these players are talking about their body.
Yes.
Akonte said something during the week. He said
another part, right?
He said, "Oh, I might just retire at 30." Right? He created some, conversation which most people are talking about right now. He talked about, "I might just retire at 30 because I don't know if my body can handle this much." So, what is the implication to their body? You can make a lot of money, but what is the effect on your body? Now,
your health.
Ways to manage that. Have the money as a team to have a deep squad. I don't think City and Madrid should complain because I actually did an analysis over the weekend with a friend. Those 2 clubs have the deepest squad in the world right now. They have players that can play 2 or 3 different positions.
Are they deeper than Chelsea?
But the point is this: well, we're talking about
deep, numerous
quality. We're talking about quality. We're not talking about just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I don't think that's what we are talking about. But
go ahead. Go ahead. I just wanted to give you that.
The point is, Lobzy, I think you're right. They're getting paid more than the Gascoins, the Cantonas of those days. But also they didn't play that much games and they didn't get that much endorsement. So I think there has to be a balance, right? In terms of what do we do. But I think the major thing that we are not talking about, we're only focusing on the club football. There are international duties.
Yep.
Addition to all these club responsibilities, right? Recently, Odegaard was the captain for the game Norway playing. That's the Norwegian captain. He's injured. That affects the manager, right? That's how players go. I mean, you have to release them because it's also good for their international caps and it's also respected as well. So how do you balance all these club responsibilities? That is like your employer and your national duty, right?
Okay.
Employer, you have to do your job. National duty, you have to be patriotic and do what you have to do. So how do we strike the right balance? And I think that's where clubs have to decide what should we pursue. Because people want to break record. People talk about treble, quadruple. That's where we get into those stuff. The point is maybe we should just forget the dream of quadruple or you should just forget the dream of treble and people just say, okay, we're going for 2 cups and that's how I'm going to use my best players and let my academy play this. I don't know the solution to that. I'm not managing this. But I don't think it's going to change. I don't think it's going to get better because we live in a world whereby currency dictates what happens. So
then what have we ever thought about it from this angle where standard squad is 23 players, 23 players, 11, then 1 extra, right? And it seems like
is that the cap though that you register after the transfer?
No, just it's usually 25 or thereabout. 25.
I think it's around, I think it's a bit more
25, right? And the only thing most teams seem to focus on the first 11 players.
Yeah.
They forget to give a chance for the next 11 or 12 players that should play. That's why you see in last season, in last season, Keller, the second keeper for Liverpool, played in other cups. Alisson wasn't allowed to play. He played major competition and he was stuck there.
Yeah.
And only when he got injured did they promote Keller as the number one keeper. And you see that also gives the team it now forces most teams to now use those players they just abandon. Like, once their first 11 is fine, they just keep them playing first 11 every week, back to back, not considering other players. But with this new rotation, they are forced to also focus on one thing: the cup you want to win. You don't want to win treble. Before, it felt like it was easy to win treble because one team just has the squad, has all the money. But now, when you have many competitions to go through, and you know that you're getting one tough team and
another
one over and over and over, you are forced now to say, okay, wait, let's take a step back. Maybe it's Champions League we pursue this time around, or maybe it's Premier League. We can manage to win Premier League by managing the game well, or which cup do we want to focus on? Do we think that this will give us an opportunity to qualify for next season, or with this new competition, would that be 1, 2, 3? Remember, Champions League is still one winner. Premier League is still one winner. Other cups is still one winner. So at the end of the day, we don't want to. They are not trying to create a situation where the scale is tipped against smaller teams, or the scale is tipped against people who don't have the financial well-being. This time around, everyone has to focus on the squad and rotating the squad more.
I hear you, but I disagree, and I will disagree based on point. If Chelsea would allow me to answer that question,
go ahead.
Okay. I'm going to actually take a dig at Chelsea just to make my point here. What you say,
then I won't allow you.
What you are saying, if that is absolutely correct, then teams like Chelsea should be going after a minimum of 2 trophies, right? Because if they have like 40, 45 players, right, then that's 2, 3 different teams, right? But you and I know that there is no way Chelsea will section or break or split their current squad into 3 teams. and they win because the quality is just not there.
No, it's a coach you blame. You don't blame it's a coach.
Okay, let me land my point, and you can disagree. The quality is not there. You cannot take out 3 solid teams, even though they have up to like 45, 50 players. You cannot take out 3 solid teams and say this team should go face Man City. They already played Man City. We saw the difference. We saw the gap between City and Chelsea. That's Chelsea fielding 11 out of the 50 players there. We still saw the gap. Now, I still think that the club with money still had an advantage, regardless of what happens. You know why I said so? Man City was actually the number 1 team that rotated the most last season.
Yeah.
And they won their competition.
And they still won, right? So, and that is him rotating. When Arsenal tried to rotate, they drop points. Go and check it. Every time
it still boils, like I still say, it still boils down to
you talk about it forces the team, it forces the club to use their other squad member. Yes, that's what it should be. But I have seen it, and you have seen it as well. When they try to give this second player, third team player the chance, the quality drops.
They don't get the results.
They don't get the point. They lose the point. The only thing that
meaning the coach, it still goes back. But it goes back to the
coach.
Lobzy. Let me just say the point I'm trying to make that I don't think you get. I don't think there's anything the manager can do when the resource you have does not have the quality to deliver. You will lose that game. It is the same thing with Burnley, the relegated. He went to Bayern Munich, is leading. He just beat a team 9-2 yesterday. Bro, resources matter. If you have a quality resource, you will deliver quality. If you don't have a quality resource, you cannot deliver anything.
Liverpool's only one point before we get there. Liverpool's only trophy last season was won by which set of players?
The kids.
Not the experienced players. The experienced players did not win it. It was who won it.
The question is what trophy? Hold on, what trophy are we talking about?
It's still a trophy. Without whatever we call it.
Hold on. Let me say something real quick. Hold on.
The journey to that final.
Hold on. So what
if they say how many trophies did Liverpool win last season, you say 1.
Hold on, please. Okay. What I'm hearing is you guys agree on the fact that it's a lot of games.
Okay.
You agree that the best thing may be for each coach to focus on the trophy they want to win. Mm-hmm. Pick 1 or 2 trophies and go hard at those trophies. Okay. You both agree on that.
That is on paper. Let me just add a caveat to that. That's on paper. Injuries happen.
Yes.
That was the thing I was going to tell Lobzy. So if I say, okay, I'm going to focus on this team and I have my best 11, De Bruyne I just put out today. We don't know how serious that injury is, right? Yeah. So when you plan around 15, 12 or 13 or 14 players, which is your best that you're going to use for Champions League, when 1 or 2 of them get injured, you have to bring from your FA Cup team, right, to come and replace. God help you. If you have the same quality, it will work. If you don't have the same quality,
when we talk about team rotation, Benitez did this very well in the seasons. Some of the seasons at Liverpool. Remember, Liverpool had a lot of players during the time of Benitez, and it was rotating the squad almost every time. Maybe Dudek, being the keeper, was probably the only one that didn't play, that didn't have to be rotated so many times. But we were rotating the squad so many times, and some teams didn't even know what squad they were going to face every week. That's the same point I'm going back to. Is the fact that they are now forced to do it. You don't want to over-depend on one player.
When
the player gets injured, then you are like,
we will not get you the result. You mentioned your Liverpool, right, winning the cup. Why didn't you use that style to win the league? You know what happened. You lost the key player. You guys came third. You were competing, but you dropped towards the end.
Which is the same. It drives the same. That's what I'm saying. It drives the same point. It drives the same point. Over dependence on the big players to perform, and when they don't perform, then you're stuck. Then the big players start complaining. Oh, we are playing too much. We're getting tired. Whereas you see a player on the bench. 2, 3.
So you're blaming your manager for not bringing. Hold on. Let me just ask you the question so that I can answer it. So you're blaming your former manager,
okay,
for coming number 3, coming third in the league because you could have just used the younger players to finish the league. Is that what you're saying?
No, essentially. So what happened between the games that we played? I think we played Atlanta the first time, and that was the Europa League or something. And the team he fielded was less, right? That's the team if you would usually field in the lower cups, right? The cups that he was trying to win, right?
So
That was his
that's the same rotation you are calling for. That's
which is what I'm saying. Which is I'm going at the same point. It changed his direction from
at the wrong time.
At the wrong time.
Okay.
You get what I'm
that's
saying?
The problem.
That's
the problem. Who dictates when the right time is? Because the problem is, you said he should rotate. He rotated because he lost. You're saying he rotated at the wrong time.
If he had won, you wouldn't say that. If he had won, you wouldn't say that.
Exactly.
No. It's the same. It's the same point. Everybody went back to the same. He said, why did he field this team when he would usually field that same team on lesser cups?
Maybe the senior ones were tired, like you said.
No, not the senior ones. No, the senior one is the funnier part is that
the one that knows the fitness.
No, the funnier part was that a week later, right? Or a week or 2 weeks later, which team did he field? The same team he would have fielded for the first game.
And because they've rested
because he already lost that one. Now he has to go with his best.
No, that's
okay. Hold on. So in summary, though, you guys shall agree that rotation helps. But to Biodun's point,
rotation is a must.
No, but to your point, rotation helps if you have quality all across the board.
You need to build a squad,
like Man City.
Exactly. Like you need to get to that point. Like somebody was it you and I were just looking at the Arsenal team 2 seasons ago, right? And today we can see that he has better solid players on the bench than he did 2 seasons ago. It takes time. It takes money, it takes investment. You know what I mean? It's not something like you play other teams, you take out their 11, they're done. You understand what I'm saying? Like they're done. I mean, look at Man City today playing and looking at the bench, seeing Kyle Walker sitting on the bench, looking at John Stones sitting on the bench, looking at Phil Foden sitting on the bench. Good one. You know, come on, man. Who does that?
It's a deep squad. Okay, so let me go to my next question, which will probably be a 2-in-1 question. Liverpool is in the Champions League. Congratulations, Lobzy. Biodun, congrats. Arsenal is in the Champions League. Now, you're in 4 competitions, as we mentioned earlier, and you guys talked about our focus on 2 competitions, go hard at those 2, blah, blah, blah. If you were the coaches of your teams right now, just give me quick answers. Which 2 competitions would you prioritize with the case of this deep squad or no deep squad issue? Lobzy, you can go.
The Premier League is winnable because of its structure, right? The FA Cup is also winnable because of the structure. The other competitions are harder because you can be unlucky and one game can decide your fate.
So you're saying you focus on Premier League and FA Cup?
Yes.
Okay, fair. Biodun?
I think Arsenal is in a very tough situation, to be honest. I'm looking at the league.
Are we not all in tough situations?
No, because people don't realize that people talk about Arsenal bottling twice. I think you need to give more credit to City. It shows how strong, and it just shows how strong is just the word that I can use. I'm trying to find the better word. It just shows how difficult it is to displace City.
Or you mean how much wealthier City is to be able to afford to?
I don't end the conversation, Lobzy. I don't want us to get into that, right? I mean, we can talk about it another time, right? But again, see,
you guys can do that offline.
All of you guys that talk about, wealth and all that, you've all done it before. Like Man United started this thing, right? You understand? So if you look at history, people complain now because they now have someone that is doing it worse. Yeah. Man United tormented us for seasons because of their wealth. Chelsea did it. Now it's City's time. You understand what I'm saying? So
Liverpool has never done it.
Liverpool has done it. They just don't do it that way. Remember that you guys, when you built that team, the team that you still have today, the backbone of Van Dijk. Remember how much you bought Van Dijk himself then?
Yeah.
But we sold players to buy him.
Anyway, that's why I don't want to go there. You won't agree, but when I give you data, you spent a lot of money. You might not just be consistently like City. Chelsea would do it like 3 seasons back to back. But I've seen Liverpool done it. You understand what I mean? Like
one player,
all the big teams.
Yeah, like 1 or 2. Anyway, but that's a separate topic. The point I'm trying to say is that honestly, I would have said EPL, but people will kill me for what I'm about to say. I think we should just let City have that EPL because they are just stronger than last season. And last season we struggled to even displace them. So
we assume they are stronger than last
Lobzy,
season.
Biodun has the floor. Biodun has the floor. Let him give the answer.
All right.
I think we all see it. Typically, they have a bad start and they still catch up.
Yeah.
They have the strongest start in the last 4, 5, 6. So what is the guarantee? You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That they're going to like go down. I don't know. That's how I'm like, okay, if I were a manager and I have to prioritize, I might have to drop the EPL for them. Like seriously. Unless maybe I want to try to have a business and maybe some other clubs will take points away from them. I don't know. But that's one way to look at it. So having said that, I actually think that the Champions League might favor Arsenal because you play one team, you drop it. No, let me land my point. You play that 8 games, then you go and wait for your opponent. You only have 3 knockout games for you to get to the final. Round of 16, quarterfinal, semi-final.
Yes.
You make that 1 to 8, you have 3 games to win. And you are in the final.
Wait, pause. Are you saying there's no home and away in round of 16?
There is.
Okay, 6 games. Okay. 6 games, right? I get it. But okay, yeah. Let me take that back. You have 3 opponents.
Okay.
More, right? You win, right? Mm-hmm. As a matter of fact, I mean on paper, you win your home game, you draw your away game. You know, it's as easy as that if it's possible.
Yeah.
So that's one way to look at it to say, okay, how can I avoid City and go and win another trophy that I don't have to go to City? That's the point I'm trying to say. What is the part for me to get to a trophy without meeting City? That's what I'm talking about. So maybe sacrifice EPL, focus on Champions League, then take either Carabao Cup or FA Cup.
But you have to pick. So you're in Champions League.
You have to pick 2.
I'll go with FA Cup.
FA Cup. So Champions League and FA Cup. Okay, fair. Lobzy said EPL and
FA Cup.
FA Cup.
Okay, so you're going to be facing each other.
You have to go for 3.
No, only 2.
No, I said 2.
They have a squad. Come on, man. 50.
No, he mentioned 2. I said 2.
I'm giving them one more. I mean, 50 players.
No, it's a question. No.
Players.
How do we have 50 players?
They have to win. They must win 3 cups.
Moving on.
What?
Moving on. No.
You forcing us to win it?
I have one more question for you guys.
Okay.
Who do you think will win the Champions League this year? I know it's kind of early to pick, but I still want you to pick. Who do you think will win this year?
Bayern Munich.
No. That I don't know, but I disagree. Bayern Munich is not winning Champions League.
Bayern Munich should have won it last year.
Okay.
But they
were cheated.
How?
Let's not.
They were cheated.
They
were cheated. Yeah, in that game against Real Madrid.
Okay. And if they are,
they should have called the
Who says they won't cheat them again this year? You don't know that.
No, they don't. They are not planning to be cheated this time around. That's why they came with full force. You remember how they act.
Okay, so your pick is Bayern Munich. What's yours?
Yeah.
Please don't say us now. Please don't say us now. Please don't say us now.
Then you can just end this session.
Arsenal.
Because you're mad, man. I can see what I want. I see
these guys are like, they just make me laugh.
No, number one, I haven't said anything. You see, this is the
we are
people. Just look at them. Look, I have not even said anything. You heard what he said? No.
What?
I have not even said anything.
I was thinking aloud.
That's what you people say. Then you go say, Arsenal people, they are saying something. I've not even said anything.
But I pick Arsenal to win a trophy this season, not Champions League.
I don't know.
Lobzy, you didn't even pick your own team to win. You should be ashamed. But we'll get back.
No. The win to me, you mean Champions League?
Yes.
With the new coach.
What's wrong with that?
See, I will tell you what the coach is still playing on right now is the grace of club, and you can tell the only thing that I notice is different is, which I'm not sure how long they can keep it going, is a well toned down game, not as fast as before. They are like more toned down game, pass. If you meet a team that passes also, you have to change your style. You can't pass all day because some have been doing it for so long. You are just starting it now.
So you're saying he's rigid. He doesn't have to change his style.
It's not. And you can tell now. The last game we played over the weekend,
Arsenal's style is completely different from Klopp.
Yeah, it's completely different.
It is.
It's kind of weird, but as far as he started scoring, maybe we could give it to him. But
there's some rigid coaches.
I'm not sure how long he can
I
go
think
with it.
you guys have a very good squad. I mean, I know you inherited it, but I think you have a solid squad. The only weakness is your defense, and nobody has tried that yet. So until you play top games, that's when people will test your defense, and you know that.
Okay, so Biodun, you didn't answer the question. Who do you think will win the Champions League? Because I have one more question, a bonus question after this, and I'm going to answer also.
I think it's
what?
City.
City. So City for you. Who did you say, Lobzy? Bayern. Okay.
Bayern Munich. Yeah.
I actually think
Chelsea.
Really?
Chelsea's not in the Champions League now.
So you know what? This is what I would say. I would have picked Bayern Munich if Company was not the coach, but because Company is the coach, I want to give it to somebody else. It's too early to say. So because I'm moderating, I'm not going to pick. Anyways, next question. Final question. Now, we all play FPL. We know this weekend, Alan is facing Arsenal, which is the person we all always captain.
Hey, man, you said Champions League conversation.
I know. This is the bonus question. It's the bonus question. It's the bonus. For FPL this weekend, who would you captain? Biodun?
I don't know.
Who would you captain?
For FPL, considering Alan is facing Arsenal, we all usually captain Alan. Who would you captain?
Alan now. Where else?
You're gonna stick with Alan when he's facing Gabriel and Saliba?
Yeah, it's still always going to be the potent person. He has a greater chance of scoring than not. Any other player can score, but he has a greater chance of scoring because the only thing he does is to tap in the ball. It doesn't work for the ball like others.
Great when he's facing Arsenal, considering what the results were last season.
Yes.
Okay, Biodun, what do you think?
I don't know.
No, I'm asking a different question. Is Alan's chance of scoring still great against Arsenal, considering what happened last season?
It's an Arsenal game. I don't think about that. I'm just gonna watch the game.
Oh, Arsenal is playing Man City this time around. So it's either both teams lose a point or Man City takes the point. Or actually, because I'll be a contrarian this time around. Because Man City is playing Arsenal a game. And remember, you learn the behavior of a team over time. It is going to be tougher for Man City to win Arsenal this time around.
So are you still going to captain Alan?
I'll captain him, but it'll be very difficult I would say it will be very difficult for Man City to win. It won't just be an easy walkthrough. Because remember, they became stronger over time. And they've shown that they are stronger.
Okay. Well, fair enough. On that note, sorry, I just wanted to put in a little bonus question in there. Biodun didn't see it coming. That's why he still doesn't have an answer for it. But on that note, thank you all for tuning in. Talk Football Live. We're glad to be able to give you more videos. Please like and subscribe and turn on
subscribe, please. Subscribe.
So when we post videos,
share to your friends,
Bye. Thank you very much and have a good night.
Good night.